Ayushi Verma from Investor Learn Academy and I welcome you all to this channel. In the last video, we talked about the different styles of investing. आज हम बात करेंगे कि कैसे रिस्क एंड रिटर्न इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में। रिस्क को अगर सिंपल लैंग्वेज में समझा जाए तो इसका मतलब होगा अनसर्टेनिटी। अब ये अनसर्टेनिटी यानी रिस्क लाइफ में हर जगह होती है। जैसे अगर मानिए मैं रोड पर ट्रैवल कर रही हूँ या ड्राइविंग करते हुए हो सकता है मुझे कुछ इंजरी हो जाए, या ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग करते हुए हो सकता है मेरे साथ ऑनलाइन फ्रॉड हो जाए। तो लाइफ में रिस्क तो हर सिचुएशन में हो सकता है। इसी तरह जब आप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं तो उसमें भी रिस्क हो सकता है। अब ये रिस्क इन्वेस्टमेंट के एस्पेक्ट से क्या होता है, इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है, रिस्क और रिटर्न रिलेशनशिप क्या है, ये सभी टॉपिक्स आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं और समझते हैं कि इन्वेस्टमेंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से रिस्क है क्या। So the definition of risk in the stock market context is the probability of losing money. When you transact in the markets, you are exposed to risk, which means you can possibly lose money. For example, when you buy a company's stock, whether you like it or not, you are exposed to risk. Now this risk can be broken down into two types. First is the systematic risk. Second is the unsystematic risk. Systematic risk जिसे आप market risk भी कहते हैं, जो market में सभी participants के लिए common होता है. Systematic risk is also called as undiversifiable risk or volatility risk. जैसे अगर इसका एग्जाम्पल लिया जाए तो 2008 फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस एक बहुत ही अच्छा एग्जाम्पल होगा जिसका इम्पैक्ट वर्ल्ड की हर मार्केट पर हुआ था। कुछ और एग्जाम्पल्स जैसे इन्फ्लेशन, रिसेशन, वॉर्स, इन सभी कंडीशंस में ओवरऑल मार्केट को इम्पैक्ट करेंगे। The risk is largely unpredictable and generally viewed as being difficult to avoid. Investors can somewhat mitigate the impact of systematic risk by building a diversified portfolio. On the other side, the unsystematic risk is the risk that is unique to a specific company or industry. It is also known as non-systematic risk, specific risk, diversifiable risk, or residual risk. Unsystematic risk is caused due to internal factors and it can be avoided and controlled. Unsystematic risk can be minimized by the diversification in the portfolio. Its examples could be a new competitor in the marketplace, a regulatory change, a shift in the management, etc. The types of the unsystematic risk are business risk, financial risk, operational risk, strategic risk, legal and regulatory risk. अब जब हमने रिस्क को समझ ही लिया है तो देखते हैं कि एक इन्वेस्टर कैसे अपने लिए रिस्क प्रोफाइल डिसाइड कर सकता है। रिस्क प्रोफाइल को समझने के लिए आपको पहले रिस्क टॉलरेंस समझना होगा। So let's understand the concept of risk tolerance. Risk tolerance refers to an individual's willingness and capacity to suffer short-term market volatilities. For example, an individual who is willing to forego high returns to make sure their investment stays safe are individuals with low risk tolerance. On the other hand, if an investor opts for higher returns at the cost of the safety of the invested amount, then he has the high risk tolerance. There are certain factors that influence risk tolerance. First, age. If a person is of young age, generally his risk tolerance would be high. That's because he has the more time and resources to recover from the losses, whereas a person who is near to the retirement age will less likely to have high risk tolerance. Because once retired or near retirement, one does not have the assurance of time or sufficient monetary resources to bear the short-term volatilities in the market. Second point, the next factor is an investor's financial standing. An investor who has a considerable assets and a few liabilities will most likely to be ready to take higher risk. It's because they have the financial capacity to wait out the short-term volatilities or suffer losses. On the other hand, an individual with a sizable set of liabilities compared to assets will possibly have a low risk tolerance. Third, disposable income. An investor with a high disposable income typically has a high risk tolerance and vice versa. It's because of the same reason that is sufficient financial room to suffer volatilities. Individuals shall also consider their future earning capacity to find out the accurate risk tolerance percentage. Fourth, time horizon. It means the time required for the investment. An investor with a long time horizon usually have a high risk tolerance, whereas the investors with short time horizons have a low risk tolerance. There are certain categories of risk tolerance. First, conservative. When you have the low risk tolerance, here the investors prefer to invest in security funds. Such investors' portfolios comprises of shares of large and stable companies or debt instruments or debt-based mutual funds, treasury bills, corporate bonds, sovereign bonds, etc. Generally, people who are near retirement are considered to be conservative. Second, moderate. Individuals who prefer wealth creation accompanied by moderate levels of risk are categorized as moderate risk takers. Such investors usually have a medium time horizon. A moderate risk taker's portfolio will constitute a moderate share of equities with debt instruments for adequate risk management. Generally, people who are of middle age are considered to be in this category. Third, aggressive. Investors prefer wealth appreciation above losses or market volatilities with aggressive investment strategies. Typically, they are market savvies with profound knowledge of market-linked instruments like investments in direct equities, equity mutual funds, etc. that allow them to take risk with their investments. People who are young, recently started or about to start their career are considered to be more aggressive. तो आइए अब बात करते हैं इस वीडियो के सेकेंड पार्ट को समझने की, जहां हम देखेंगे कि रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स क्या होता है. So return on investments or ROI means how much your money will grow if you invest in a particular stock or mutual fund. It is a performance measure used to evaluate the efficiency or the profitability of an investment or compare the efficiency of a number of different investments. In other words, it is calculated to check how much returns has your investment generated. How you can calculate returns on investment? By using this formula where you can just see that final value of investment minus the initial value of investment divided by initial value multiplied by 100. Let's understand this with an example. Mr. Shobit invested 50,000 rupees in an equity mutual fund. That became rupees 62,000 at the end of the 2 years. Let's calculate the ROI for this. So the ROI, return on investment, would be 24%. There are different types of returns like annualized returns, absolute returns, and CAGR returns. Annualized returns, how much did the investor's money grow each year to reach the final investment value? So if we consider the previous example, the annualized returns will tell us how much has 50,000 rupees grown every year to become rupees 62,000 at the end of the 2 years. So it can be calculated with this formula where the ROI is the return on investment, N is the number of years. So here the ROI is 24% and N is equals to 2. By using this formula, you can get the approximately 11.35% return. To understand the absolute and CAGR returns, you can check our previous video. Understanding the risk-return trade-off before investing in equities is very crucial for an investor. The returns potential of an investment option is of prime importance for every investor. But while every investor would want to generate the highest possible returns, the quantum of risk involved is often overlooked. The inherent nature of financial markets is such that the returns potential of the investment is directly linked to its risk. This phenomenon is known as risk-return trade-off. Let's understand this with the help of this chart. So as the chart above clearly indicates, there is a positive relationship between risk and return. So when you are invested in the safe assets like bank FDs, government bonds, treasury bills, then your risk is the lowest. But so are your returns. As you go up to this risk ladder, your returns increase proportionately and so does your risk. Here, risk is defined as the volatility or the standard deviation of the returns. That means the more volatility of returns that you are willing to put up with, the greater is your risk appetite, and therefore the higher is your potential for returns. So I hope the concept of risk and return is clear to you. We will meet you in the next video, which is based on the economic analysis. Till then, happy learning.